Having me here today. My name is Ken Mayfield, and I have a background in the fine arts, in interactive development and 3D environments, and also in working with the scientists, with sciences. I worked for 7 years in Vancouver alongside geological scientists and alongside groundwater scientists and the rest. And I found this very interesting and inspiring. To work with scientists from an artistic perspective, and particularly from their side, because they were interested in expanding their communications beyond experts into the general population. They wanted to explore these intersections between art and science. So over time, we developed a few solutions, the most recent of which is this Meadowlands project. I was in discussion with a very clever individual who had built a series of natural bioreactors to remediate landscape. And out of that came the idea of creating a virtual environment where people could teach themselves the drastic effect that available groundwater will have on a particular location. What I found with these individuals, in one case, a remediologist, a microbiologist, pardon me. I'll start that sentence over again for editing. Now, in the development of these 3D environments, I worked alongside a microbiologist and an ecologist. And we built this terrific conversation about what happens to a landscape as more and more water becomes available. Now, in this context, in a low water environment, you may have very sparse vegetation. If you're able to increase that water artificially through human engineering or somehow naturally, then you will begin to attract more and more species, both in the soil biome over time, the water biome, but especially in terms of insects and then small prey animals, like mice and moles and other things. If you're able to elevate the water table to something like a riparian zone or a riverside zone, then you may invite apex predators like owls or hawks, who now have a food source to depend upon. And all of this is very much the hard edge of nature, but it really does describe how an ecology can be restored via water table. Now, the problem we encountered in the past when I'd worked with geologists and in the present with this project is how do you describe this to people? Someone who's educated in ecology and groundwater and microbiology can look at studies, can write studies, can understand the effects of minute changes of water table on endemic flora and fauna. But someone who is new to this, someone who may live on the land, a stakeholder or a policymaker, this may be foreign to them. So the whole purpose of this project is to make an experience out of changes in the landscape brought about by water table differences. And these are the kinds of inputs we would like to build in our project with the support of deep funding and SingularityNET. By using just water available parameters, we will depict human landscape changes for low water, medium water, and plentiful water outcomes. And on the left side of the screen, you'll see that we'll be able to build a basic AI into the presence of apex predators and their behaviors. Originally, where we were with this project in the past was here. These are the inputs we'd like to develop, but we did not have the resources to build the AI. Now, the environment itself already exists as an interactive, so we'll just be adapting this to our purposes. Now, this is built in Unity's high definition render pipeline. All of the environment in terms of the time of day and the weather is programmable. Here we have a nice pleasant day and a forest. So the idea is that we would create a meeting space where people can see the effects of water table changes on this virtual landscape. Now, this particular environment also supports voice chat and text chat. So if you're a group of scientists or policymakers, you'll be able to take a guided tour of this environment using these inputs to see changes in the landscape. Okay. And it has numerous benefits in terms of how we educate people. We're all facing now world-size challenges in terms of climate. In my country alone, on one side of the country, we have wildfires that have eliminated whole villages in a matter of minutes. The center of Canada is experiencing drought. The eastern end of Canada is experiencing hurricanes and flooding. So by building out the ability to show in a gamification way, in a very accessible way, changes in the landscape, we hope to show the benefits and empower people to make helpful decisions in terms of climate and ecological restoration.